Some people cry at movies. Some people cry during arguments. Some people cry when someone raises their voice just a little. And if that's you, you've probably heard this your whole life. You're too sensitive. Why are you crying? Relax. It's not that serious. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody tells you. People who cry easily are not weak. They're overloaded. And that overload comes from a very specific psychological pattern that almost nobody explains correctly. Let me show you what's actually happening. Picture this. You're trying to explain yourself. You're calm. You're logical. You're choosing your words carefully. Then suddenly, your throat tightens. Your chest burns. Your eyes betray you. You didn't choose to cry. Your body pulled the trigger before your mind had a vote. That's not fragility. That's a nervous system firing at full volume. People who cry easily feel things faster, deeper, and earlier than others. They don't process emotion slowly. They process it instantly. Most people feel emotion like a dimmer switch. You feel it like a light snapped to max brightness. And here's the first thing that will shock you. Crying easily is not an emotional problem. It's a boundary problem. People who cry easily often grew up having to read the room to survive. They learned early that other people's moods mattered more than their own, so their brain became hyper-alert. Tone changes, facial shifts, micro-disapproval. Your nervous system learned, catch this early or you'll pay later. So when tension appears, your body doesn't wait. It reacts. Tears aren't sadness. They're a release valve. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Many people who cry easily aren't just emotional. They're emotionally responsible for everyone else. They absorb stress that isn't theirs. They carry conversations that aren't fair. They over-explain. They self-blame. And crying becomes the moment the system says, I can't carry this alone anymore. Let me tell you a quick scenario. You're in a disagreement. The other person stays cold, controlled, flat. You feel your emotions rise. Who do people side with? Not you. The calm person looks strong. You look unstable. And after that moment, you don't just cry about the argument. You cry because you feel ashamed for crying. That shame is the real damage, because it teaches you to suppress instead of regulate. And suppression makes crying worse, not better. Now listen carefully, because this is the part that changes everything. People who cry easily don't need thicker skin. They need better control over emotional timing. Right now, your emotions run on auto-release. The goal is delayed release, not suppression, control. Here are 5 behaviors that change this fast. First, stop explaining when emotion rises. This is the biggest mistake emotional people make. You feel misunderstood, so you talk more. You justify, you clarify, you defend. But the more you speak while emotional, the more oxygen you feed the fire. Your nervous system interprets talking as escalation. Next time emotion spikes, do this instead. Pause. Lower your voice. Say less. Even one sentence. I need a moment. We'll continue this later. Silence feels terrifying when you're emotional, but silence gives your nervous system a signal. I'm safe. And safety shuts down tears. Second, name the sensation, not the story. Most people who cry easily spiral because they narrate. This always happens. They don't respect me. I'm failing again. That story multiplies emotion. Instead, do this internally. Tight chest. Hot face. Pressure behind eyes. That's it. No meaning. No drama. Just sensation. This pulls your brain out of threat mode and back into the body. Your tears slow down almost immediately. Third, detach urgency from emotion. Crying people feel like everything must be solved right now. That urgency is fake. Emotion lies about deadlines. Nothing bad happens if you wait 20 minutes, but everything escalates if you push through while flooded. Train this sentence into your brain. I don't need to finish this while emotional. That sentence alone saves relationships, reputations, and dignity. Fourth, cry on your schedule, not theirs. Here's a harsh truth. Crying in front of people who don't respect it teaches them they can overpower you emotionally. That doesn't mean crying is wrong. It means where you cry matters. Private release builds control. Public collapse hands leverage away. So give your body permission to cry. Later, go to your car, your room, the shower. Tell yourself, not now, soon. This alone reduces how often crying hijacks moments that matter. Fifth, understand the hidden strength you're misusing. People who cry easily are usually highly empathetic, perceptive, and intuitive. You read subtext. You notice energy shifts. You feel what others ignore. That's not a weakness. But when unregulated, it turns inward and becomes self-attack. The moment you stop treating your sensitivity like a flaw, it stops attacking you. Sensitivity without structure is chaos. Sensitivity with structure is power. Here's the one thing nobody tells you. People don't lose respect for you because you feel deeply. They lose respect when your emotions control the interaction. The moment you control the timing, pacing, and expression of emotion, the entire dynamic changes. You still feel. You just choose when it shows. And when that happens, something wild occurs. People listen more. They interrupt less. They take you seriously. Not because you became colder, but because you became grounded. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, do this. When emotion rises, say less. Delay release. Regulate first. Process later. Watch how fast people respond differently. And if this hit uncomfortably close, good. That means it's real. Subscribe if you want psychology that actually works in real life. Not therapy talk, not motivation, just truth. And comment one word, control. Because once you control emotional timing, crying stops being a weakness and starts becoming a weapon you don't even need to use.